Hi everyone, I'm Vidhi and I'll be your host. Thank you for joining this webinar about building social interaction skills in autism. We'll start with a panel discussion talking about the difficulties and challenges therapists and parents face while helping learners develop social interaction skills, especially people on the autism spectrum, and the tools and resources that they use. Next, we'll go through the novel approach used by Talk With Me. Finally, we'll have a Q&A and poll session at the end. Our panelists are Dr. Uma Krishnan, who is a child psychologist, Ms. Amy Taylor, who is a speech and language therapist, and Dr. Swati Gupta, who is the inventor of Talk With Me. So my first question is for Uma. Can you briefly describe what sort of problems therapists and parents face when helping people develop social interaction skills, especially people on the autism spectrum?
Hello, everyone. First of all, the way people on the spectrum perceive the world is different and they find it hard to communicate appropriately in social situation. One challenge we face is how to understand their existing communication pattern, something we can then start to work on. Also, this difficulty in communication results in behavioral problems. Even though parents use different materials like picture cards, gestures, and apps, they are often not able to bring desirable results. This is because they are often not able to either figure out the method or follow it. So, building awareness among parents about the usage of apps for improving social interaction is very important. Many applications are available on different platforms, but still parents are not aware about the methodological aspects of its usage.
How about you, Amy? What is your experience?
One common problem we see educators and parents facing when helping learners with social interaction skills is a lack of motivation to engage in social interaction. So finding motivation is such an important step in supporting people to interact socially.
So, what sort of learning resources do you use and what are their pros and cons?
So I'll often use social stories, which I think are great because they provide clear explanation of social expectations and they have that visual support as well. There are definitely more pros than cons to social stories, in my opinion, and they can be as simple or as complex as you need them to be. They're ideally engaging, and ideally they're also tailored well to the child who is their intended audience.
How about you, Uma? What resources do you use?
There are several apps available that help improve communication skills. They have shown improvements in need based communication, like asking for food and water, as well as in higher level of social skills, like greeting people and have a small talk. Usually, the communication is done through using pics. So, using the same concept of pics in app is naturally useful. As people on the spectrum are mostly visual learners, app based interventions help them learn better because they are more interactive and can incorporate audio and video.
Okay, and how does Talk With Me help you with your challenges?
As I said before, there are several apps to help with need based communication like Avas, Prologio 2, etc. But they stop at the level of need based communication and they don't go beyond that. We need to move from need based communication once we're done with that to a social communication where they are able to have a reciprocal conversation with others. In my experience, Talk With Me is an app that does it, and that's what make it different. I tried Talk With Me app with children who are less verbal and who don't have much exposure to need based communication. They are attracted to the visual and the interactive aspect of the app. And one child started using some conversation pattern while conversing with her parent, which had never happened before. After regularly using this app, I could see some behavioral pattern changes in children, like listening to others, turn taking, trying to comprehend what others say, etc. So in this way, I could bring some changes in their behavior while using this app.
Amy, could you share how Talk With Me helped you with your challenges?
I mentioned social stories earlier. Talk With Me uses a similar concept on many of our conversations, which provide explanations of everyday social expectations and in-depth explanations of what to expect in familiar and novel situations. Something that I love about these conversations is that it gives the child a chance to ask questions, and parents can easily edit the words and the names and pictures to make it just right for their kid. Another strategy that I'm a fan of is supporting parents in their journey to interact with their child in a way that helps the child become or stay interested in engaging with people in their life, just to sort of keep that interaction up or to start that interaction off in the first place. Now, there are a lot of different ways to do this, and overall, the strategy is strong if you can find the right fit for that child. So it's a strong strategy when you kind of find what works. And something that's exciting to me about Talk With Me is it can offer another way for parents to do this. And for some children, it really is the method that helps them to learn and enjoy that social interaction, which can be really exciting for the children and their families.
So, thank you, Uma and Amy, for this very informative discussion. Now, let's have a brief chat with Swati about how she came up with the idea of Talk With Me.
Hi everyone. As indicated by Amy and Uma, existing resources have a lot of limitations. They focus on vocabulary and grammar and not so much on the nuances of conversation. So back in 2015, we were experimenting with various ideas around how to use computer games to help individuals on the autism spectrum develop social interaction skills. We collaborated with the special needs schools, parents, therapists, teachers, and individuals themselves in New Zealand. One day, while talking to a speech and language therapist, the idea of leveraging technology to enable conversation through pictures started to emerge. And several iterations later, we got what we call the Talk With Me app today. The Talk With Me enables people on the spectrum learn social communication skills. They sit alongside and share the app with the people in their life and experience the joy of connecting with others. Trials in New Zealand and India gave us outstanding results. Over 20 minutes of continuous and independent conversation, excellent joint attention, cooperation, eye contact, attempts to verbalize, understanding of turn taking, and so on and so forth. One teacher told us that two girls developed an enduring friendship. A dad called us and said, my daughter said to me for the first time today, Dad, I want to play with you. Come out and play. That's what motivated us to build Talk With Me further and bring it to the people. I'll leave you with that thought.
Thank you, Swati. That was very thought-provoking. We'll now move on to the app demo.
Thank you. So, Talk With Me has two interfaces. One of our interfaces is for the learner, who uses Talk With Me to have conversations with the people in their life. For example, their family and their friends. And our other interface is for the support person. For example, a parent, a therapist, or an educator. So, support people use the app to work with the learner through downloading and customizing our conversations, as well as through creating appropriate learning content just for them.
What shall we talk about?
After you log in, you'll first see the learner's interface, so we'll call this the talk area. The learner can choose from all of these topics. When you click on a topic, you will see all the conversations within that topic area. For example, let's click on specialists.
Specialists.
Here, all the conversations within specialists are displayed. Let's try our conversation going to see the doctor.
Going to see the
This
doctor.
here is your conversation screen, and here is the turn bar. It shows whose turn it is. So it's on the left-hand side, which is where it starts, which means the left-hand player goes first. So we see the left player's sentence at the top. Each sentence in our conversation is represented by a series of pecs-like cards that have an image and text on them. When you're ready, build your conversation by dragging the appropriate cards down one by one, like this.
We are going to the doctor tomorrow.
And then you can drag cards down in any order that you like, and the app will regroup them if the order isn't correct. You can also choose to tap on the cards if that works better for you or your learner. So when you're happy with the sentence that you've created, give the turn to the other player by sliding the turn bar to the right, like this.
We are going to the doctor tomorrow.
As you can hear, the sentence will be repeated back to you. So we continue the back and forth conversation like this. Our research shows that such two-way interactions play a significant role in developing social interaction skills. So let's finish this conversation.
What will happen when we are at the doctor's? What will happen when we are at the doctor's? The doctor will take your temperature, talk to you, type. The doctor will take your temperature, talk to you, and type. That makes me feel okay. That makes me feel okay. What shall we talk about?
So as you can see, the conversation is concluded with a celebration, and then we return back to the talk area. Now let's head over to the educator's interface. You'll just need to click on the top right corner of the screen and enter your password there. The reason this is password locked is because we don't want it accessed by the learners. This is really just the educator's area of Talk With Me. So once you're in, you'll see Talk, which is the area we've just been over, Edit, Download, Settings, Tutorials, and then Log Out. Let's go to Downloads first. So in Downloads, we have a wide variety of learning content available for you to choose from. And we'll keep creating new content for you. So every time you come back to Talk With Me into our Download section, there's likely going to be new conversations waiting for you. So here you can see all of the conversations that we currently have available for our download. And on the left of the screen, you can see that we have levels and topics. So our levels are intermediate, beginner, and advanced. You just click on a level, and you'll find conversations under that level area. And you click on a topic, and you'll find conversations under that topic area. So you can match them together. For example, I've just clicked on exotic animals and beginner, which means you can find beginner conversations which are about exotic animals. Or you might just want to look up exotic animals and find all of the conversations possible about exotic animals. Or you might just want to find all the conversations that are beginner. And it works the same with all the others. So you might want anything that's beginner or intermediate, or you might want anything about celebrations, which is beginner and intermediate. So let's go back to exotic animals. Exotic animals. And let's look at giraffes. So as you can see, once you select a conversation that you might want to download, you can see the text on the right of the screen, which shows you exactly what's in that conversation and gives you a better idea of if you think it's suitable for your learner. And then you can press download. Once that tick appears, it means that it's downloaded. Now, it says exotic animals under giraffes, which means that is the area that you're going to find it under. So let's go back to our talk area and see if this giraffes conversation is now in exotic animals for us.
What shall we talk about?
Here we have exotic animals.
Exotic animals.
And here we have the giraffes conversation.
Giraffes.
So, as you can see, now giraffes is a conversation in exotic animals because that's what we have just downloaded. So I hope that all makes sense to you. Sometimes you might want to edit the conversations you download, so let's go to our edit section and return to the giraffes conversation we've just downloaded. Like in the talk area of the app, you'll see the conversations under their categories in the edit area. So giraffes is under exotic animals, and here you see the conversation giraffes. If you downloaded other exotic animal conversations, you'd also see them here and also be able to edit them for your own purposes. So let's press on giraffes. Now the first thing that happens is you'll always be prompted to rename a conversation that you're editing. That's because the app keeps the company-made conversations as they are and then adds your edited conversations. So let's call it giraffe facts for Tony. So now we're in our editor. On the left-hand side of the screen is the conversation tree, which shows you the structure of the conversation and how many sentences there are. On the right-hand side is the text for the corresponding sentences. So I just want to scroll down this tree and show you what I mean. So here we have the first sentence, let's talk about giraffes. And then as I press there, we have the next sentence, and so on. So you can navigate your conversation just like this. At the moment, we only see the text. To look at the images we have for the sentence, tap on the pencil. And here we have the images that create this text. Now you're able to change any of these images to suit you better. Some people prefer to look up the images that we have available and choose something else. And some people like to add images that work for them from their own computer. Or you can even take a photo. So let's show you how this works. Press on the icon you want to change. So I'm going to go with giraffes. And I'm going to press change photo. And I'm going to upload a photo from my own computer. So I'm going to choose from the library. As you can see, I could have pressed take photo and I could have taken a photo of anything in my environment. And here I have a picture saved of some giraffes. So I'm going to press on that. And as you can see, there's a little image of a little giraffe, which I might have found more suitable. You can also edit the text to make the conversation more personalized, to match your style of talking, or to make the vocabulary more consistent with your learner's real-life experience or vocabulary targets. So as an example, I think I'll just change talk to chat. So now the sentence reads, let's chat about giraffes. Now I think we're done, so let's press done. So now you can just check out the sentence, so press back up to it. Let's chat about giraffes has now changed within the conversation. Something else you can do is you can go to the bottom of your conversation tree and you can delete a sentence. So you just press the X at the right of the screen and you can delete the sentences that you don't want anymore. You can also add another sentence, and we'll talk about this in the next section. Talk With Me even allows you to create your own conversations from scratch. As you can imagine, the conversations we create for you are quite generic, but oftentimes you'll want to talk about things that are very specific and personal to your learner. For those situations, you could create your own conversation on Talk With Me. So tap on New to create a new conversation. And now give your conversation a title. Now select a topic. We will go with family. And then select a picture. So let's look up auntie because the conversation is about our auntie. And let's select this picture. So here we have our picture, our topic, and our title, and we're ready to start our conversation. This is the screen where we create conversation. Let's start typing the first sentence. And then just press create. And then create a response. Notice the green circles which pop up on the left-hand side conversation tree as I type. At the moment you only see the text, but as you press create, the app is automatically splitting the sentences into meaningful chunks and finding images for them. So let's see what our first sentence looks like. So we'll just press on this little edit symbol again, and this is what it looks like. Here is the area where you can change the photo or edit text as we've been over previously. Now if you want to see this conversation in action, press test. Now you see the conversation as it will appear on the app if it was published.
Auntie Sue is coming to stay. Auntie Sue is coming to stay. When is she coming? When is she coming? Next weekend.
And if you're happy with that, you can go ahead and press save. Now the conversation is saved, you can return to it and work on it later if you want, or continue working on it now. Or if you're really happy with it, you can press publish. It asks, are you ready to send this conversation to the talk area? And we're going to go ahead and press yes. Now that our conversation has been sent to the talk area, let's exit out of here. And let's go back to the talk area.
What shall we talk about?
And find family.
Family.
And there we see our new conversation that we've created. So here we go, press on it.
Auntie Sue visiting.
And here we have the conversation that we've just created is now ready for us to play whenever we like.
Auntie Sue is coming to stay.
And that's how you create a conversation and publish it to our talk area. Thanks heaps.
So our panelists have responded to some of your questions. You can download the app on Google Play Store and App Store on iPad. You can also follow us on our social media platforms at Talk With Me app. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. And if you have any other queries, you can contact us via email on contact@inclusives.com. Thank you again.